I was learning things like how to make my hands turn hot or cold. Like, I was starting to learn magic. My name is Blackwell, and I've been going to MCC for about 1.5 years now. I went to church pretty much until I want to say I was 15. I went every single Sunday, every single Friday, like religiously. I saw church as this facade where people were one way in the church, but completely different on the outside. There was a lot of focus and attention on what car you drove in on, what you were wearing, what designer bag you have, like that type of stuff. I witnessed so many people get, I think it's called excommunicated from the church for simply coming and confessing their sins to a pastor, and then they would publicly have to stand in front of the church, confess that, and then afterwards hear everybody talk about you. And I didn't want any part in that. This ended up leading me to get into New Age. So it started with psychology. I always found that fascinating, you know, the way people work. But obviously into psychology and in today's world, there's a lot of New Age things mixed in there, which I didn't recognize at the time. But I would read my horoscope, you know, every now and then. And then I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I can learn even more about me. I can learn even more about the world and how everything works. So I went from reading my horoscope to then studying my birth chart. And then I went from studying my birth chart to doing tarot. I started doing tarot for myself. And at first I was like, well, I'm not like fortune telling, like I'm not trying to figure things out about the future. I want to understand what's going on now. It started there, and then eventually I started to like it because I felt like I was making sense of the world. I actually got into a course. I was learning things like how to make my hands turn hot or cold. Like, I was starting to learn magic, essentially. I started meeting people also on that path, and they seemed to be the most welcoming people ever. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be accepted. And so when I didn't feel that in the church, that's why I went to New Age. It was actually summer of 2023, and my mom had just passed in January of 2023, and I was like as deep as you can get in New Age things, and I was starting to feel very miserable. Like, at first it felt cool, but then it started to occur to me that the path that I'm on has me as my own essentially creator. And when I looked around me and my life was pretty awful, I was like, this is not a good life I've created. And the people around me weren't great, and I had isolated myself a lot. And more than anything, I just missed my mom. And like, I honestly was at the lowest low I've ever been in. And then I started to remember, like, my mom used to pray a lot. I would see her reading the Bible sometimes. After she passed, I got one of her Bibles just as something to like hold on to, in a sense. I would just like pick up the Bible and just try to read it. And I stopped everything I was doing, like tarot. I threw my tarot cards away. I just essentially, I feel like, was giving God a try. I didn't know what was gonna come of it, but I was down. Like, I had no other option at this point, or so it felt. I started writing out some prayers in my notes. Again, I didn't know like if they were gonna be heard or not. So one day, things just got really bad in my life, and I honestly just wanted to end everything. Like, I was like, there's nobody here that cares that I'm here, and I don't want to be here. Just like, I was so over it. And so I just went into my room and I just said, God, if you're really real, please do something. Like, I don't want anything anymore. Within the next couple of days, my situation got worse, and then it got better. So it got worse because the relationship that I was in at the time broke off. Things started coming to light of what I was involved in. I had a lot of shame and embarrassment of like what my life had become. And then I started to realize, wait, this isn't a bad thing. That's when I knew, wait, like, it was that prayer I said. It was when I actually like asked God to do something. And from that moment, I just started to actually read the Bible, understand it. So even though I felt completely alone and I had nothing and I had to start back from zero, I just felt a presence. Like, I felt God's presence for the first time ever. And that's how I knew that that was God and that was Jesus. I stepped immediately into what God had for me. Honestly, within a month or two, I met my now husband. I got a new car because I was having car issues. My relationship started to get better. I actually saw everything in my life turn for the better. And I just knew that was God's blessings in my life. I had never seen blessings in my life like that before. Like, everything before seemed so dark and gloomy. Like, as soon as I turned to God, everything just got better. And honestly, even now, no matter what I go through, like, I know that God blessed me so much. Like, He only has good things in store for you. And we're the only ones that really deviate from that plan. In a way, there was almost sadness because I was like, I could have had this all along. Like, I could have literally been living in these blessings a long time ago had I actually turned to God sooner. Nothing can possibly be as scary anymore. Nothing can be as depressing as it ever was. I could have the worst day in the entire world, but I have someone I can count on. Every single person in my life could turn from me, but I know God wouldn't. And that's how life is different. And no matter what I go through, I know He's gonna be there. We came across MCC with my, at the time, fiance, now my husband. We were trying to find a church together. We came on a Sunday, and immediately I felt welcomed. And immediately I felt, might be cliche, but I felt like home. Like, it felt like home. As soon as we found the church, we didn't even try to look for another church anymore. But for the first couple of months, maybe even up to a year, every single Sunday I would cry during worship, during the word. I honestly felt seen. I felt seen by God. I felt seen by people. I felt like I was truly in God's family. Like, that's how church should be. And so that's why I'm here, still a year and a half later. If you are currently practicing New Age, I will just say you might not even know if you are sometimes. Just you reading a horoscope, you're participating in essentially witchcraft. If you are honestly doing yoga or practicing yoga, or you're doing any type of spiritual work, that could include shadow work, Reiki, so many other things, just look at the origin of those things. Look at where they come from. Are they from the Bible? Are they biblical? And who are you serving? Because a lot of times in New Age, there are words used like source, like connect with the source, right? Who's that source that they're talking about? Like, look into that. Like I said, horoscopes, tarot, astrology, zodiacs, which is essentially astrology, don't even come in agreement with those things. Ask Jesus to reveal what it really is that you're doing, because you'll get scared. Honestly, like, you have no idea what's behind it. It seems all glamorous and pretty and cool, but it's not. I know you're looking for meaning in your life, and I know you're looking for truth. The issue is you're never gonna find it. You're gonna be like a hamster on a hamster wheel, trying a new thing, trying a new manifesting ritual, or trying a new meditation, seeing another guru, and it's gonna keep pointing you to different things, and eventually you're gonna come to a point where you're like, what am I even doing? And that's when the devil's gonna step in and just say, take your life. That's honestly all that it always leads to. So just know that there's somebody that loves you, there's somebody that created you, there's somebody that has a plan for you, and that's God, that's your creator. Give Jesus a try. You've tried everything else, but you haven't tried Jesus. He wants to save you. He wants to give you all His blessings. He actually has a perfect plan for your life, and there's no plan you could make for yourself that would ever amount to what He has for you. So give Him a try. Honestly, all you have to do is say, Jesus, I believe in you. Reveal yourself to me. And if you believe, He will. And He will speak differently to everyone, but He will speak to you in a way where you know that it's Him.